Welcome to this special topic series about business, pleasure, and sex. Hello and welcome to the Successful, Sensitive, and Intuitive Entrepreneur podcast. My name is Lydia Sophia Wilmsen and I am an intuitive success mentor for sensitive entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I speak about the challenges sensitive and intuitive entrepreneurs face. I offer you new perspectives and solutions, as well as experiences of other entrepreneurs. Plus, I speak about my personal experience of being a highly sensitive person who has successfully built and scaled 2 businesses. All of that with the goal to make you and your business even more successful in your very unique and authentic way. Have fun and enjoy. Why did I create this series? The connection between business and relationship or business and sex is quite obvious. I very often use analogies or metaphors from relationships to highlight or explain things in business to my clients, and it always creates aha moments. For example, how do you want to approach prospects? How do you want to approach people who might be interested in your offer? And then find the similarity to how you approach dates, how you approach dating. If you're dating, what kind of energy is attractive and what kind of energy is repelling? If you come across as super needy, usually you repel people. No one wants to be with a very needy person. And the same happens in business. If you come across super needy because you need the money, the appreciation, the validation, this repels prospective clients. So this is just a tiny example of an analogy from the relationship or dating world to business. Then about pleasure. Why am I talking about pleasure in a business context? I have always been quite a sensual person. I'm highly sensitive and aware, and sensual awareness is key for me. And also my whole message is around living a life of more. It is about leaning into living more, experiencing more depth in life, more passion, more wealth, more abundance. And pleasure is a way of living that. Pleasure is a way to that feeling of more, to that sensual experience of life. You can be in a place of struggle, survival, and suffering, and you can choose to be in a place of pleasure, deep aliveness, and pure experience of life, no matter the circumstances. Whatever the circumstances in your life, you can choose how you want to experience it. And my message is to invite more pleasure into your life, to invite more depth and more taking in life into your life. And for many people, this makes sense when it comes to the bedroom. Pleasure is connected with sex, which is true. And pleasure can also be a way of life. And this is why I'm talking about the connection between pleasure, business, and sex. In this first part of this 4-part series, I'm going to talk about feminine and masculine principles in business. It's basically the foundation for the whole series. Of course, we are talking about universal energies. Although they are commonly associated with gender, I am not referring to gender at all. We are all born with both yin and yang energies. We all have the potential to lean more towards one polarity or the other. It does not refer to men and women. You can understand it more as a meta concept of archetypal energy. And obviously there are many women who do want to embody more the feminine side and more men who want to embody the masculine side. However, I have no statistics about that, so that's just my personal opinion or my personal observation. No one will ever attain a perfect balance of both energies, but we all present with a greater dominance of one or the other, and we can learn to use them to create harmony or disharmony in our life and in business. Most people are not in their sweet spot. Most people have not found their unique blueprint or their unique mix of energies. You can directly see that. Is this a person who is basically rooted in herself? Or do you have the feeling there is something off? She's like, there is a lot of pressure in her. There is a lot of like drive, which doesn't really fit the rest of the person, the looks, the personality. And or the other way around, is she like, you get the feeling that's a strong, ambitious person, but somehow she comes off as super weak and super too soft. It doesn't fit that person. You quickly get an idea of, has that person found her unique mix of those energies? And is she or he in her sweet spot? And this is why, for example, some powerful business women, they are always like addressed as, they are so masculine. They just want to be men. And there are powerful women who do have a lot of masculine traits. And it perfectly fits them. And then there are many of them who think in order to be successful, they have to show those masculine traits, even though it is not theirs. It is not their personal unique mix, which basically fits them or is a perfect expression of their being. Yeah, this is why people shout about women in leadership that they have become men and they are not feminine anymore. And then we have the other side, there is this whole topic around toxic masculinity, either that it's totally in overdrive and it's not taking in account anymore that every man can have a lot of feminine energy in himself and that this is being repressed. Or on the other hand side, that you have men who are totally missing masculine energy because this is how they think a modern man should be like. And basically, if you don't embody your own unique, perfect mix, you won't be in your full power. If you're leaning heavily into masculine energies, which is not representing yourself, you directly go into overwhelm and burnout. And if you're leaning too much into the feminine, which is also perhaps a misrepresentation of yourself, you go into chaos, in unstructure, in like missing structure in business, in not knowing what you're doing, in flowing, and not reaching your goals. And if you feel there is a misrepresentation of energies in business, and we will go deeper into that in a moment, you will surely feel it in your personal relationships too. Or vice versa. So this is why I love to make analogies, why I would love to show you examples from business, and you can take those to look into your relationships and take examples from relationships and see what is happening in business. How you do one thing, you do the other. Now, what are typical yin energies, so-called feminine energies? This energy is associated with stillness, nighttime, creativity, feelings, and senses. What I mentioned before, sensual awareness, experiencing life through your senses. It is all about receiving, about being, vulnerability, honesty, transparency, and authenticity. Other words which fit the yin energy is compassion, nurturing, love, radiance, right brain intuition, expression, feeling, softness, collaboration, and empathy. Empathy is a big one as well. Passion and internal energy. And on the other side, we have the masculine, the yang energy. And yang energy is assertive, goal-oriented, accomplished. It's all about accomplishment. Dominance. This energy is associated with daytime, activity, vision, and power. It is all about giving, about drive, about direction, about doing. Can you hear that my voice is different when I speak about those different energies? It's about decisiveness, about structure, clarity, support and protection, freedom, and it is the analytical brain, the left brain, the logical. It's about stability, reliability, determination. It's external energy, external focused energy. And you see, both energies are beautiful and needed for business, both of them. And there are pathological forms on both sides. If you live the toxic form of them, you are directly headed towards issues, so to say. On the yang side, this might be burnout, overwhelm, struggle, mental health issues, and also physical injuries. And when you take the yin side, if you have like this toxic form of going into yin mode and not having the balance anymore, this can lead to chaos, to loss of direction, loss of connection, depletion. Yes, depletion. If you give, there is nothing left. And unfulfillment. This happens if you go into feminine overdrive, so to say. So now for you, you can go through those different characteristics I mentioned and see what tendency you have. Which one do you know more? Which one do you embody more? Where do you feel more at home? Is it more the goal-oriented achievement side, the directive side, the analytical side? Or is it more the soft side, the intuitive, the empathetic side, the nurturing side? What is your current pattern? And also, what is your shadow tendency? Usually, what you're inhabiting right now is kind of your comfort zone. So ask yourself, where lies your growth? If you follow the path, I constantly have to work more and do more, you might even increase your results if you embodied more feminine yin principles. You know, if this is a pathologic way of you doing business or also being in relationships and friendships, if this is your comfort zone, that you always think you have to do more and find the right strategy, and you work constantly and you hustle a lot, and it's not happening with ease. You do get results, but it costs you a lot. It might be that you're very strong on the masculine, on the yang side, and actually inhabiting and embodying more feminine principles, more yin principles, might bring you those results much quicker and with much more ease and with a much deeper feeling of this is actually me. And the other way around, if you're always very flowy, everything is intuitive, everything is empathetic, I'm all about empathy, I don't care about structure, believe me, I've been there, then it might be that actually some masculine side, some more direction and structure would massively help you to scale your business. I had a long time in business where I was very driven and I went into burnout. I didn't use my feminine and sensual side at all. I hadn't developed that side, or better said, I repressed it massively due to my upbringing and childhood. There are always reasons why we do things the way we do them. I had an absent father figure. Obviously, there was no masculine energy represented in my life. So I always had the feeling I had to do that. I had the feeling I didn't have the masculine part in my life from early childhood on. This very often happens with women. This absent figure can lead to, and not always, this is very simplistic right now, that you think you have to do it all alone. And this is how I did business. I have to do it all alone. I have to work hard. I have to work more. And then there was a time that business was just chaotic. I was in feminine overdrive. I didn't have any structure. I only leaned into I developed my feminine side, my sensual side. I stopped repressing it and basically overdid it. And this is okay. This is beautiful. Sometimes in order to go to the other side, you have to overstep the middle ground, your personal middle ground. The middle ground is not in the perfect middle of both of them. It is very specific to you, what kind of personality you are and what kind of person you are, and actually also what your desires are and what you want. I'm now getting to that place where they are in my unique balance, and I can use both of them. I'm not repressing any side anymore. I love both principles in my business and in my life. And funny enough, when I was in high masculine overdrive, I attracted feminine men. When I was dating, I attracted feminine men. Very soft and intuitive, which I loved, but they were missing the masculine energy I craved. And of course that happened that way because I was so heavy in that side myself. I was so much embodying those masculine principles that no other masculine energy would be attracted to me. The outside world is your mirror. And this little story I told you about myself, this happens to my clients. Most of my clients, or no, many of my clients, they really know, like especially women, they know how to do the masculine. They know how to hustle and go into overdrive. And they haven't fully embodied their sensual and feminine side yet. And it does happen in the spiritual world with men as well, that we have that there are very sensual, intuitive men who have lost connection with their masculine side. So it goes in both directions. Check with yourself. Do you get the results you want in the way you want them? And check in other life areas as well. In your relationships and sex, do you feel and get the pleasure you desire? And if not, if you either get it, but with a lot of struggle and a lot of giving up yourself and a lot of, toll on your mental and physical health, then please change something. And if you don't have any idea how to get results at all, you just live somehow, and you want more structure and more clarity, then we have to work into the other direction. So this first part of the episode was all about giving you some ideas of the different principles and for you to check in, where are you right now? To perhaps really sit down later on and write down, what are the words which resonate the most with you? And which ones perhaps even repel you when you think about nurturing? No, I don't. I hate that. Boo. That's such an old view of femininity or something. Check in with yourself what resonates and what repels you. And you will get an idea what still needs to be integrated, where your shadow lies. And we will go into the dynamics more in the coming episodes. You'll tap more into your perfect mix, and you'll learn how to actually embody more of the side you might be repressing right now to massively increase your business results and also your connection and pleasure in all private areas of your life, like friendships, relationships. Did you like this podcast episode? Then I would be super grateful if you gave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Please subscribe to the podcast and share it with people who you know can benefit from it. You can find all links to my social media profiles, my website and contact form in the show notes. And whenever you're ready to activate wealth consciousness, deep aliveness and pleasure, and magnetic radiance, live a life of more on all levels, then send me a message with where you want to go and what is keeping you where you are in business and in your life. And I or my team usually replies within 48 hours to you. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode, much love to you, Lydia.